Hi everybody, we open here today. I'm playing Destroyer, the U-boat hunter. This is the first I'm playing because I just purchased it. It went on sale on Steam. I've had my eye on this one because I like these types of naval sims, especially the submarine games. This one is a bit opposite, as I will be hunting the submarines. Do I want DLSS or do I want to... Let's do none for now and see how it looks. Full screen, no VC. That's it for the options. I guess let's do tutorials first.
The Battle of the Atlantic took place in the 1940s. During that time, most U-boats were still diesel-electric and so could not stay submerged for prolonged periods of time. Therefore, you're very likely to detect them on the surface using radar before they close in for the attack. Once a U-boat submerges, you can no longer detect it using radar, and you will have to use sonar instead. Unlike radar, the sonar of the 1940s had to be pointed in the appropriate direction in order to detect the enemy. Bear that in mind when you lose radar contact with the enemy, and, most importantly, remember this. Radar works only for surfaced contacts, while sonar works only for submerged contacts. Last but not least, the 1940 sonar also has a dead zone right under your destroyer, which is crucial to remember. The most important thing you need to understand, however, is that everything at sea is ruled by the compass. Consequently, every instrument, report, and command also refers to it. It works just like the clock, with 000 or 360 at the top, 090 on the right, 180 at the bottom, and 270 on the left. These three-digit codes are called bearings, and they refer to the cardinal points. 000 or 360 is the north, 090 is the east, 180 is the south, and 270 is the west. So, if there is a contact at bearing 090, it means that it is located east of our position. This system allows the crew to quickly exchange information regarding where the enemy has been detected, what course to take, and so on. Once you understand it, it quickly becomes second nature. In summary, the most important information for you will always be the position of the currently tracked enemy, which is given in bearings, which direction, and ranges, how far away from your position. The last thing you need to know is how to execute a successful depth charge attack. The problem consists in hitting a moving object in 3D space with a weapon that has a considerable delay between being fired and hitting the target. In general, the attack has to be made in such a way as to drop the depth charges with a lead ahead of the U-boat's bow. What is more, the depth charge fuse must be set for shallow, medium, or deep. Bear in mind that the deeper you set the fuse, the longer it takes the depth charges to reach the set depth. The optimal time to drop depth charges is calculated by an analog computer called the Tactical Range Recorder. It measures the speed of closing the distance between your destroyer and the target, and will help you to decide when to give the order to fire. Because of that, pay close attention to what the tutorial says about using the TRR, as it will make the difference between success and failure. In reality, the chances of hitting a U-boat with depth charges were rather slim, but due to the devastating effects that even close misses had on the submarine's morale, harassing and suppressing the U-boat was often enough to make its crew abandon further attack attempts, at least for some time. Now that you understand the most essential facts about anti-submarine warfare in the Second World War, you can proceed with the tutorial.
Welcome to the tutorial. The bridge is where you control the destroyer's maneuvers. Let's start with changing the ship's speed, which you can do through the engine order telegraph. Right now we are at sailing 1/3 ahead. We're going to go standard ahead.
All engines ahead, standard.
All engines ahead, standard. Aye, sir.
Observe how our speed is rising from 8 knots to 25 knots. There are more speed options to choose from. However, remember that ahead full and ahead flank, you won't be able to use the sonar. You can also control the engine order telegraph from any station by clicking on its representation on the left, or by using the W and S keys to select and enter to confirm a new speed. Use the S key to confirm, or click the engine order telegraph on the left. Select ahead 1/3 to proceed.
All engines ahead, 1/3.
All engines ahead, 1/3.
Compass
Aye, sir.
is currently showing course 000 magnetic north. Courses relate to bearings, so if your course is 000, that means you're headed exactly northward. There are a few different ways to steer the ship. The first is by means of the helm, which works just like the steering wheel in a car. Click and hold the left mouse button and drag it fully to the left. Oh, you gotta be down in here.
Hard left rudder.
Hard left rudder.
Observe
Aye,
how
sir.
the helm indicator has changed position. Excellent. Now we are turning left. Another way to steer is by clicking on the helm indicator. This is a very useful tool for keeping the destroyer turning in a given radius. Try making a 35-degree turn by clicking here.
Hard right rudder.
Hard right rudder. Aye, sir.
Observe the course is changing. Now center the helm by clicking at 0 on the helm indicator.
Rudder amidships.
Rudder amidships. Aye, sir.
You can also steer from any station. Okay, well, I read that. Turn right either by using the D key and confirming it with enter, or by clicking on the helm indicator on the left. Select 20 degrees right to proceed.
Rudder, 20 degrees right.
Rudder, 20 degrees right.
Another convenient way
Aye,
to
sir.
change course is to click on the compass representation on the left. You can either click along its circumference and select the course as you wish, or you can press enter, type the course in, and confirm it by pressing enter again. I have to go to 010. 010, enter.
New course, 010.
Course 010. Aye, sir.
Alright, moving on to attacking.
Surface radar has a new contact. Bearing 050. Range 2,900 yards.
Bridge combat. New surface contact from radar. Bearing 050. Range 2,900 yards. I designate contact. Able. Time 07.
Enemy U-boat has been detected.
Contact able now bears 050. Range 2,700 yards.
To attack it first, let's look at the target bearing indicator. This device is extremely useful as it displays our ship's silhouette, the current target bearing in relation to it, as well as magnetic north.
Contact able now bears 049. Range 2,600 yards.
At quick glance, all you need, if your target bearing is aligned with the bow of the ship's silhouette, then you're steering the right way to pursue your target. Additionally, the radarman is now regularly reporting the target's data. Let's use these coordinates
Contact
as well
able now
as
bears bears 0. Forward
He's gonna keep
8.
updating that.
Range 2,600 yards.
We have to get within 2,000 yards of him. So, I have to come left a little bit.
Rudder 10 degrees left.
Rudder 10 degrees left. Aye, sir.
Left. How about starboard?
Contact Able. Now bears 0. Forward 7. Range 2,600 yards.
Rudder amidships.
Rudder amidships. Aye, sir.
Wait, target bearing is here? That means I have to come right. I went the wrong way.
Rudder 20 degrees right.
Rudder 20 degrees right. Aye, sir.
Target bearing is 20 degrees. Let's just go 0
Contact Able.
course.
Now bears 0. Forward 6. Range 2,600 yards.
No, 046. Let's go to 050.
New course 050.
Course 050. Aye, sir.
All engines ahead standard.
All engines ahead standard. Aye, sir.
Contact Able. Now bears 0. Forward 5. Range 2,600 yards.
So these three lines are magnetic north. The target bearing is here.
Contact Able. Now bears 0. Forward 3. Range 2,500 yards.
New course 040.
Course 040. Aye, sir.
I don't hear engines or anything. Maybe that's because it's
All engines ahead 1/3.
Contact Able. Now bears 0. Forward 1. Range 2,300 yards.
You probably need more steering practice, but let's move on. In any case, a good tip for beginners is to listen to the bearings given by the radarman and steer accordingly. Same course as the given bearing. Following that course is the easiest way to get closer to the enemy. Once you begin approaching, it is time to start tracking the submarine.
Contact Able. Now bears 0. 3. Niner.
So, the
Range
destroyer is fast.
2,200 yards.
You know, compared to the submarines, the destroyer is going to be fast. So that I guess is a good tactic. We'll see if it works. For me, you know, usually playing the submarine and being underwater, I'm quite a bit slower than the destroyer. So I have to,
Contact
trying
Able.
to find a
Now
destroyer
bears
or
0. 3. 6. Range 2,200 yards.
or the ships that the destroyer is escorting. I have to plot a line on the map and go in a direction that may not be towards them. It'll be towards where they're heading. Before we leave the
Contact
bridge,
Able. Now bears
take a look
0.
around by holding
3.
down the left mouse
4.
button and
Range
moving the mouse.
2,200 yards.
Now we're going to move to the Combat Information Center. The radar shows surface contacts, so you may want to take a look at it anytime you need to update the picture of the situation on the surface.
Contact Able. Now bears 0. 3. 2. Range 2,200 yards.
You can use the radar to check your position in relation to the convoy, as well as the current escort positions and surface U-boat positions. You can zoom in and out by scrolling the wheel and move the camera around by pressing the wheel.
Contact Able. Now bears 0. 3. 0. Range 2,200 yards.
Now let's see how you can track your own maneuvers versus enemy maneuvers. Click on DRT to continue. The Dead Reckoning Tracer will help you plan your maneuvers in relation to the enemy.
Contact Able. Now bears 0. 2. 7. Range 2,200 yards.
The moving light under the glass surface represents your destroyer and has bearings on its outer circumference to help you decide what course to take.
Contact Able. Now bears 0. 2. 5. Range 2,200 yards.
The dots represent your destroyer's position, and the crosses represent the U-boat's position. You can plan your maneuvers by observing how the positions change in relation
Contact
to each other.
Able now bears 0, 2, 3. Range 2,200 yards.
This just sets the scales. You can drag the moving light by holding down the left mouse button, allowing you to scroll the plot around.
Contact Able now bears 0, 2, 1. Range 2,300 yards.
You can zoom in and out, as well as scroll the camera around by using the mouse scroll wheel.
Contact Able now bears 0, 1. Niner. Range 2,300 yards.
Okay, it's basically, after all that, it's saying that for new players, the DRT autopilot is activated. Now that you know all about the DRT, we can proceed with shooting the guns.
Contact Able now bears 0, 1, 7. Range 2,300 yards.
Stand by to fire.
The gun director has optics and radar systems to control the main 5-inch gun battery. You can look around through the optics by holding down the left mouse button and moving the mouse around.
Contact Able now bears 0, 1, 5. Range 2,300 yards.
Shooting at a surfaced U-boat will cause it to dive. You can even damage it with a bit of luck, but most U-boat captains will order a crash dive the moment you start firing. Try shooting a few rounds. Click on radar aim to aim the gun battery at the
Contact
engaged target.
Able now bears 0, 1, 3. Range 2,400 yards.
Start tracking contact. Target acquired. Fire. Target bearing 0, 1, 1. Range 2,400 yards. Load illumination round.
Contact Able now bears 0, 1, 1. Range 2,400 yards.
The ammo has been changed and the guns are aiming at the sky. Let's illuminate the area around a destroyer.
Illuminate 0, 1, 1. Target bearing 0, 1, 0. Range 2,400 yards.
Sonar room. Let's take a look at the sonar console. The thing to note here is a round plate with the bearings that you can use to control the sonar head. Simple click on the sonar indicator and drag it to rotate left or right.
Lost contact. Able. Last bearing 0, 1, 0. Last range 2,200 yards.
Alright, let's look for a U-boat. Probably have to do this slowly. Oh, it's telling me to drag it to 345. No luck this time. We need to keep on searching. A more effective way to find a U-boat is to order a 90-degree or 180-degree. A more effective way to find a U-boat is to order a 90-degree or 180-degree search arc. This is a much more convenient than searching manually, but remember that you still need to set the direction of the indicator first, and then order a search arc. Click on this button to change the width of the search arc. Which button? Which button? Oh, here.
Sonar, combat.
Oh, yeah,
Investigate
that's better.
arc 300 through 030.
Combat sonar. Investigating arc 300 through 030. Sonar I.
You can change the sweep of the direction.
Combat sonar. New sonar contact. Bearing 002. Range 2,300 yards.
Sonar, combat. Investigate arc 310 through 130.
Combat sonar. Lost contact. Able. Last bearing 0, 0, 2. Last range 2,100 yards. Combat sonar. Regain contact. Able.
Yes, we've got
bearing
something.
0, 3.
It's probably the one we spotted on the
range
surface.
900 yards.
Now observe the window in the upper right part of the console. This is a small tactical range recorder. By looking at it, you can see whether you are going towards or away from the target.
Combat sonar. Contact. Able. Now bears 0, 2, 8. Range 800 yards. Combat sonar. Contact. Able. Now bears 0, 2, 7. Range 800 yards. Estimated depth shallow.
If the graph is leaning left, we're getting closer. If it's leaning right, we're going further away. The last important element is around
Combat
CRT
sonar.
display.
Contact. Able. Now bears 0, 2, 3. Range 700 yards. Very strong propeller noise.
Round CRT display is what? You can observe the bearing drift. Example, how strongly the target is moving left or right. While this isn't crucial information, it can help you determine your next maneuver.
Combat sonar. Contact. Able. Now bears 0, 1, 9. Range 700 yards. Combat sonar. Contact. Able. Now bears 0, 1, 8. Range 700 yards. Combat sonar. Contact. Able. Now bears 0, 1, 7. Range 600 yards. Estimated depth shallow.
And then it goes on to say that you can switch from true bearing or relative bearing. True bearing being always north is 000 or 360.
Combat sonar. Contact. Able. Now bears 0, 1, 1. Range 600 yards.
And then
very strong
relative
propeller
bearing
noise.
is according to the bow of the boat. Back in combat, now we're going to take a look at the ship's course and bearing projector.
Combat sonar. Contact. Able. Now bears 0, 0, 4. Range 600 yards. Bearing steady.
Right, this is what I'm used to for U-boats. You can mark the current U-boat position in order to track how it is changing with time in relation to your destroyer. Because of that, the OSC is very useful during the last stages of the attack. The line
Combat
extending
sonar.
from the center of the
Contact.
ship's
Able.
silhouette marks
Now
where the
bears
sonar is
3,
pointing.
5, 7. Range 500 yards.
Therefore, whenever
Combat
the sonar has a contact, you can
Able.
immediately see
now
which
bears
direction it is
3,
located.
5, 5. Range 500 yards. Bearings drifting right.
This could also be used on autopilot mode. It's turned on by default, so I can concentrate 100% on maneuvers.
Combat sonar. Contact. Able. Now bears 3, 4, 7. Range 500 yards. Combat sonar. Contact. Able. Now bears 3, 4, 5. Range 500 yards. Bearings drifting left.
Going back to sonar to figure out how to launch our depth charges. Select tactical range recorder. The TRR requires two pieces of information to work: the speed of your destroyer and the
Combat
depth of
sonar.
the U-boat.
Contact. Able. Now bears 3, 3, 6. Range 500 yards. Bearings drifting left.
So the tutorial set the speed and depth, so now all we have to do is ready the depth charges. Let's set a shallow pattern.
Combat sonar. Contact. Able. Now bears 3,
Nano spread.
2, 7. Range 500 yards.
Depth charges
Combat
are being
sonar.
armed, which
Contact.
takes a while.
Able.
Necessary, you can
now
change the
bears
parameters
3,
before launching the
2,
barrage.
5. Range 500 yards. Bearing steady.
Ready depth charges.
This
Shallow
automatically works
pattern.
by default. You can also use it manually. You can switch the modes, blah blah blah. Once depth and speed are set, you should rotate the transparent plexiglass piece so that its red lines
Combat
align with the
sonar.
graph
Contact.
shown
Able.
by the
Now
TRR.
bears 3, 1, 7. Range 500 yards. Very strong propeller noise.
Okay, it just adjusted it for me, I guess.
All engines ahead. 2/3.
This I don't
All engines
understand.
ahead 2/3. Aye, sir.
Combat sonar. Contact. Able. Now bears 0, 3, 9. Range 500 yards. Combat sonar. Contact. Able. Now bears 0, 3, 9. Range 500 yards. Very strong propeller noise.
This screenshot on the right here is showing what it should look like when I fire.
Combat sonar. Contact. Able. Now bears 0, 3, 9. Range 300 yards. Very strong propeller noise. Combat sonar. Contact. Able. Now bears 0, 3, 9. Range 100 yards. Bearing steady.
Here we go.
Combat sonar. Lost contact. Able.
Fire 1.
Last bearing 0, 3, 9. Last range 100 yards.
Fire 2. Fire 3.
Cool. That was a good attack. You can observe the results of the depth charge camera window in this top right. You can disable this view for more realism. You can also toggle the damage info on and off. Let's go to the lookout station.
Surface radar has a new contact. Bearing 265. Range 3,500 yards.
Bridge combat. New surface contact from radar. Bearing 265. Range 3,500 yards. I designate contact Baker. Time 0:25.
These posts give you the best view for maneuvering when you're in close range to the convoy. Your lookouts will warn you of possible collisions, and they can spot periscopes and torpedo wakes if visibility permits. They'll also report on oil slicks and debris, which are signs of hits scored against U-boats. At night, your star shells and searchlight from the gun director can increase their effective spotting range. You can look freely around by pressing and holding the left mouse button and by moving the mouse around. You can also zoom in and out by clicking the binoculars button. Now let's get back to the Combat Information Center. The next station will allow you to choose between all of your detective contacts. This station lists the enemy contacts that have been detected so far, as well as their most recent information. This can be quite useful, especially if you've lost contact and want to re-establish it later. This is also where you select the contact you wish to engage. This contact will be reported on regularly, and any remaining contacts will be reported on only when contact is lost or regained, or when attacks have been made. Moreover, the DRT and OSC stations will track only the selected contact, and the gun director will target it when you engage radar aim. As you can see, you have two contacts already, Able and Bravo. I forget what he called the second one. Baker. Select contact Baker by clicking on it. Good, we're now focusing on contact Baker, so regular reporting and plotting will switch to it. Remember to always select the contact
Baker
you wish to
now
engage with.
bears 263. Range 4,000 yards. Surface radar has a new contact. Bearing 189er. Range 2,800 yards.
Tactical
Bridge
situation
combat. New
shows
surface
the big
contact
picture
from radar.
and allows you to
Bearing
command the remaining
189.
assets in your force.
Range
Our
2,800
destroyer's
yards.
call sign
I
is
designate
Bloodhound,
contact
Antler,
Charlie.
Monty,
Time
Hockey, and Maple
0:27.
are the remaining escorts, and Black Cat is your air support. Depending on the size of the
Contact
battle, all four
Baker
remaining
now
escorts may not be
bears
present.
263. Range 4,200 yards.
Our destroyer, Bloodhound, is located in the center. Your escort units are yellow circles, and convoy ships are represented by yellow dots. Enemy U-boats will appear as red crosses, along with their contact letter,
Contact
and
Baker
name
now
and
bears
time their position is plotted.
263. Range 4,300 yards.
To command an escort unit, first select it, then either click anywhere on the board to relocate the ship to that location, or click on the latest enemy position to attack that contact. So here's Antler.
Antler, reporting.
Where does it want to go? It wants me to relocate Antler, but I'm not sure where it wants me to put it.
Antler, this is Bloodhound. Maneuver to station. Bearing 013. Range 2,900 yards. From guide.
Roger. Antler maneuvering to station bearing 013. Range 2,900 yards. From guide.
Bloodhound, this is Black Cat. Subsighted northeast 4 miles from convoy. Bloodhound, this is Black Cat. Air support on station.
Good, now we will send Mountie to attack contact B. Click on Mountie, then click on contact B to continue.
Mountie reporting.
Mountie, this is Bloodhound. Proceed to engage.
Roger. Mountie engaging.
Bloodhound, this is Black Cat. Subsighted northeast 4 miles from convoy.
I can adjust the Sonar search arc, clicking on it and changing its width. It wants me to change Maples.
Maple, reporting.
Maple's now searching the assigned search arc. Adjusting the search arc will come in handy if you need to find a lost contact. If you attack a single contact with 2 escort ships or assist another escort in their hunt, the chance of success rises exponentially. A well-coordinated
Bloodhound,
attack
this is
can
Black
be
Cat.
much more effective.
Subsighted northeast 4 miles from convoy.
But it's important to watch out for collisions and avoid concentrating too much of your force on a single enemy. The last asset at your disposal is air support. It is your guardian angel, and depending on how you use it, can make the difference between victory and defeat. Air support is your fastest unit, and it poses a huge threat to the U-boats. It can execute a single depth charge attack, but once the payload has been dropped, it can still harass U-boats with its machine guns.
Bloodhound,
Presence
this is Black
alone
Cat.
will make U-boats
Subsighted
dive to avoid
northeast
potential
4
attacks,
miles from convoy.
slowing them down and denying them freedom of operation. Let's see how it works. Black Cat is represented by a blue circle. Select Black Cat, give it an order to relocate.
Black Cat reporting. Roger. Black Cat on the way to patrol area ahead of convoy.
Now let's attack contact C.
Black Cat, this is Bloodhound. Attack contact. Charlie.
Roger. Black Cat attacking contact. Charlie.
The downside of air support is that it is only available for a limited period of time. Pay close attention to radio traffic.
Lost contact. Charlie, last bearing 210. Last range 3,200 yards.
Bloodhound, this is Black Cat. Periscope feather sighted. Northeast 4 miles from convoy. Bloodhound, this is Black Cat. Engaging sub.
We've lost Sergeant Sullivan. All ships. Maneuver to avoid. Sergeant Sullivan has been torpedoed and is taking on water.
Bloodhound, this is Black Cat. Periscope feather sighted. Northeast 4 miles from convoy.
You can also pick up survivors from merchant ships that you have lost. This allows you to reclaim half of the points that you have lost when a merchant ship was sunk. Picking up survivors can be done both by your destroyer as well as other escorts. Survivors are marked on a tactical view by a green dot with a life bar to represent their status. To pick up survivors, approach them carefully and stop your destroyer within
Bloodhound,
150
this is Black
yards
Cat.
of them.
Periscope feather sighted. Northeast 4 miles from convoy.
If you leave the survivors in the water, some of them will inevitably drown. This is represented by survivors' health bar underneath the green dot. The quicker you take the surviving men out of the water, the better chance you have of regaining your lost points. Survivors can also be rescued by remaining escorts. In order to give orders to rescue survivors, select an escort and click on the survivors marked on the tactical display. Let's go Maple.
Maple, reporting.
Maple. This is Bloodhound. Maneuver to pick up survivors from Sergeant Sullivan, bearing 091, range 1,300 yards. From Guide.
Roger. Maple searching. Sergeant Sullivan. Position for survivors bearing 091, range 1,300 yards. From Guide.
If you take a look at all devices that use the bearing system, you will see that they all essentially show the same thing, a ring of bearings with your destroyer in the center. Therefore, the most essential skill that you need to learn is to cross-reference and compare data between various stations. For example, if you lose radar or sonar contact, quickly switch over to the DRT and it will tell you where to search with the sonar. When maneuvering around the convoy, you should get in the habit of checking the tactical station and radar. All of these devices serve different purposes, but they utilize the same system. They're your eyes and ears. Use them well, and you'll always know what's going on around you. Ignore them, and you'll quickly get lost in the chaos of battle. Now you know everything you need to play Destroyer, the U-Boat Hunter. Right.
There are three elements that are absolutely crucial to U-boat tactics: speed, flanking, and the element of surprise. Let's begin with speed. A submerged U-boat is roughly as fast as the convoy, so it cannot effectively catch up on it from behind. It would first need to surface to make more speed, yet at the cost of being attacked by escort gunfire. Therefore, the most dangerous kind of enemy is the clever U-boat captain who approaches submerged from the front of the convoy, maintaining the element of surprise, unless you detect him with the sonar. Most enemy captains, however, will approach the convoy on the surface, for reasons already mentioned in the ASW 101 video. As for flanking, torpedoes had the highest chance of hitting the target when fired at the so-called broadside, i.e. not at the bow or the stern of the target, but at its side, which made for a much larger target. If you allow a U-boat to assume a flanking position within 1,500 yards of the convoy, and give it enough time at periscope depth, they will be able to shoot whole salvos of well-aimed torpedoes, potentially sinking a few merchant ships in one fell swoop. Also, the wolfpack tactics used by U-boats were based on advantage in numbers in an attempt to swarm and overwhelm the escorts by attacking from multiple directions at the same time. This was supposed to create a shock effect and confuse the escorts by creating chaos and giving them more targets that they could handle at a time. In order to help you prevent that, here is a handful of tactical advice. The best area for U-boats to attack from are the convoy flanks. Prevent them from sneaking into good firing positions, and convoy survivability will rise exponentially. U-boats approaching submerged from the front of the convoy can be a nasty surprise. Whenever possible, maintain at least minimal sonar coverage aimed towards the front of the convoy. If you manage to attack and suppress a U-boat long enough, it will stay submerged and will eventually end up behind the convoy. If that is the case, it will be almost impossible for it to catch up without surfacing, and its threat will have been nullified, at least for some time. Try to attack U-boats as far away from the convoy as possible. However, once they break through, make sure to recall your escorts, close the formation, and aggressively defend the flanks. The U-boats will attempt to exploit any holes in your defenses to get there and fire multiple torpedoes. So if any U-boats break through into this zone, attack them with all your might, or their torpedoes will start to wreak havoc in the convoy. Sooner or later, you will be able to determine the main vector of the attack. Once that happens, relocate more escorts there from the other flank of the convoy as soon as possible. Bear in mind that such formation changes will take a while, so try not to jump the gun, as it may cost you a lot of time later to reverse a bad decision. Whenever possible, attack a U-boat with more than one ship. Also, try coordinating your attacks with other escorts. Just watch out for collisions, and you will be fine. If multiple U-boats break through and swarm the convoy flanks, chaos will ensue and you will start losing ships. Don't panic and stay on your toes, as this is the most difficult time of the battle. When it comes, make sure your escorts are prioritizing the right targets, and try not to get lost in the entanglement. If you make it through this difficult part, you will most likely succeed in suppressing and repelling the enemy. If you start losing ships, don't panic. Check the radar or the tactical station in combat. Deduce where the torpedo may have come from, and make a strong presence in the area to prevent the U-boat from taking further shots on the convoy. Use air support to harass U-boats that are beyond your reach, or quickly relocate it to suppress multiple U-boats when they get dangerously close to the convoy's flank. Remember that air support will force a U-boat to submerge, thus preventing it from firing its torpedoes. Some U-boat captains will submerge and hide under the convoy, or even try to sneak to the other flank. This is a bad situation for you, as it is very dangerous to track and attack U-boats within the convoy due to a high probability of collisions. And lastly, be aggressive and do not let the enemy take the initiative. The longer you hesitate, the more time you are giving the U-boats to reach optimal firing positions and aim their torpedoes. Harass them, never let up, and focus all your assets to the fullest. That concludes the presentation of U-boat and escort tactics.
Okay, I think that's it for this tutorial. Should I start a battle before doing the career mode? Let's do a small battle. 9 ships, 2 escort screen. Time of play, an hour. Random time of day, course, and weather. Now let's skip it. We'll do that in the next recording. So this will just be the tutorial section of Destroyer the U-Boat Hunter. Keep a lookout for the next recording. It'll be the battle. I'm going to do a battle. A small battle just to get used to it, and then I'm going to go right into career mode. Career mode comprises 9 missions whose goal is to get subsequent convoys across the Atlantic. Each mission consists of several battles against U-boats attacking your convoy. After the last battle of each mission, your performance will be evaluated by the Commodore. Next, you will be assigned a new, more demanding mission, and the results from these missions will determine your overall career score. Once you complete the final mission, your Commodore will decide what happens next in your career with the U.S. Navy. You can do normal, which allows you to save your game at any time, and you can restart each battle as many times as you wish. We'll be doing that to start. Eventually, if I like the game and then I wind up playing it a lot, it'll be the Iron Man mode, of course. In this mode, there are no multiple game saves. You can save your game only when exiting to the main menu. There's no way to reverse your mistakes. You have to live with the consequences of your decisions. That sounds like fun, but this is supposed to be sort of a complex game because not only are you controlling your boat, you have your own ship to navigate and search for threats and all that. You are also the leader of the escort convoy. So, like the tutorial showed, you're actually giving orders to other ships, which is cool. Kind of combines a little bit of a RTS type of naval game with a ship simulation game. I will also be leaving all of the devices on their auto. I'm not gonna get into that to start. Eventually I will. I know when I played Silent Hunter 2, I did everything manually and rarely used time manipulation, so I would actually, I'd be doing my homework or something while navigating or patrolling, and if something would come up, I'd put my books away and I would start the battle. I remember seeing on YouTube one time a guy was playing one of the newer Silent Hunter games, and he played it for I don't know how many days straight, and he didn't speed up time. He just sat in his chair and commanded a submarine. Crazy. I won't be doing that either. Alright, thanks for tuning in to Destroyer the U-Boat Hunter. This is something a little different for the channel. Usually I'm doing MMOs or survival games. Occasionally a shooter here or there, but sims are... I don't think I've ever done a sim on the channel yet, as far as I can remember. This I would consider a naval sim, but I like these types of games. I also have U-Boat, which I plan to do a recording of and put on the channel as well, which is the opposite. It's the mirror image of this game. Instead of being the destroyer and the convoy and the destroyer escorts, you are the submarine trying to bring down the merchants, and of course you're German. Alright, I'll see you next time. Have a good one.